skirt.
Keep your long johns on.
I'm gonna keep my long johns on.
Keep your long johns on. Hey, y'all, we want you to be blessed today. We encourage you. It's a great day to be great, so go be great. We're grateful for the last broadcast, Heart and Soul Hospice Care, for all those individuals who are looking for hospice care or any type of consultation. Please correct the right people. Bishop Sandy McLean and Heart and Soul Hospice. Hey, but this show is also brought to you by Alchemy Business Consultant. Alchemy Business Consultant with the wonderful proprietor, CEO herself, all of 3-in-1, 4-in-1, 5-in-1. Well, again, welcome to the show, and I'm grateful for the things that we have already done thus far. So tell us, what's going on in your world, lovely lady?
Oh my goodness, I thought we'd talk a little bit about some leadership today.
We will, but let's talk about you.
What's talking about me? So
you was a mother over the weekend.
I was a mother.
Let's talk about you. Let's just talk about you.
Yes, my lovely ladybug came in town, and she lives in New York City.
Right.
Yeah.
She lives in New York.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And she came in for a project in
New York.
Mm-hmm. And it's something about being a mom. So even when they're grown and they go away, when they come back, anything that you were not doing, like cooking and all that kind of stuff, when they come back in town, mama turns right back on.
Okay.
So pancakes going.
You never missed that.
No.
You never missed that. She said pancakes, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out why I was not invited to any of the food festivities over the weekend between mother and daughter. So, daughter, in the event you listen to this broadcast, that weekend with mom was great. Next time you come in town, I need to be a guest at the dinner table, breakfast table,
at the
brunch table. Speaking of breakfast, lunch, dinner, how was your diet? What are you doing to stay so healthy and vibrant and all those things?
You know, recently I've been doing a lot more plant-based.
Shut your mouth.
I have.
I
still eat chicken.
You haven't been delivered.
I haven't been delivered from chicken. However, lots of greens. Been cutting a lot of other stuff out. Because I'm learning that the things that we put in our body may cause some type of inflammation.
Of course.
And so I'm getting older and I want to stay.
You're not getting vibrant.
I'm getting wiser.
There you go.
Okay.
And someone's at age is nothing but enough.
Yeah, that is.
All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So your plant-based, how
change? Not completely. Why not? Slow and baby steps. So I met over at the turnip truck yesterday. Two beautiful young women, one 80 years old.
Wow.
80. And she's never been sick a day in her life.
She's been eating off the land.
Off the land.
Yeah, that's what
I'm talking about. They gave remedies and recipes. And then I met Miss Dolly.
Okay.
And they were like, stress can cause inflammation.
Okay.
The things that you put in your mouth cause inflammation. It cause breakouts and sicknesses and illnesses. We stood there and talked at least for 30 minutes until I had to excuse myself and say, Miss Dolly, I need to leave.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Wonderful. Well, I'm glad you are doing the things that you need to do to stay as vibrant and healthy as you are. You're pointing at me, so yes, I guess you have a question.
I'm curious, what do you do to stay so healthy and vibrant?
Sea moss, ashwagandha, black seed oil.
Okay.
All of those things.
Which one has made the biggest impact?
Sea moss, I do believe.
Okay.
I do the gel. And the black seed oil of cut coast and burdock root. I'm taking that again now.
Okay, tell me about that. I don't know what that is.
I don't either. I heard Dr. Saban say something about it.
Okay.
I don't know nothing about it either.
Okay.
I just know it's on the list of those superfoods.
Okay.
So I just go get my superfoods and I just started taking it and I felt young yesterday. I went and walked. I got in 11,000 steps yesterday in the cold. Being a partner, yeah. And I'm gonna do it again today, but I'm gonna go on the inside. I did half of it this morning. I'm gonna do the other half later on today. But I exercise, try not to stress as much as I used to stress.
Okay.
But being a leader, and we were to talk about leadership, and Bishop McLean he's dropping, so he's wanting to know what this conversation is gonna entail. It's easy to stress.
Okay. Yeah.
And I there's a lot of things that I'm learning to do to distress, dismiss the stress from my life.
Okay. What are those things that you've started to
Mindfulness
incorporate?
activities.
Oh, I love it.
The first thing I do after I say thank you, God, and I got this from somebody, they said they count from 100 to 0 backwards.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
After he gets, and guess what? It has been so difficult for me to do that the last 2 weeks without me thinking of something else.
Mm-hmm.
I get to 78 and I'm starting thinking about this.
Yeah.
I get to 56 and I'm starting thinking about this. He said, practice disciplining your mind to focus on one thing.
Yeah.
And watch what happens in your life. So now I've gotten to like the 30s before my mind starts to drift.
Okay.
So I'm growing in the discipline of my mind.
Absolutely.
So I'm being more mindful.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
So even talking to you, I'm even more mindful. I'm watching you. I'm picking up energies and aura, something that I was never mindful of before practicing these mindfulness activities.
Yeah.
Is that a good answer?
I love it.
You love that answer.
I do love that answer.
And for those individuals who might need some consulting and business, small businesses, employees, needing some things, how can we connect with you and get with you?
Yeah, so you can contact me, Alchemy Business Consulting, at 615-809-1615.
All right.
And you can leave a message or I'll probably pick up the phone.
Will you pick up the phone?
I will.
You need me to answer it for you?
Come on. Absolutely. Come on in. You can be my assistant and leave a message.
Okay. Leave a message. What's that number again?
Yes, it's 615-809-1615.
615-809.
1615.
Wonderful. Okay, cool. Leadership. Talk to me about leadership. Leadership is influence. What in this Women's Month, what women leaders have influenced who you've become in your life?
Oh, wow. That's juicy. So there is a woman, her name is Ori Pinnick.
Slow it down, because I've never heard the woman.
She wouldn't be anyone that you knew.
Okay.
Ori.
Pinnick.
And I started working at 15 years old at a law firm.
Okay.
And this phenomenal woman, she was a civil rights attorney, and she was became president of the Leadership Council.
Okay.
And I remember working for her over the summertime, and I worked for her in this during the school year.
Okay.
I was like 15 and 16 years old, and at the end, when I graduated high school, I came back to work for her. But I was a big head, arrogant college student. So I went into her office and I said, I'd like to make more money. And she said, I'm not going to give you any more money, but I'm proud of you for coming in here, but I'm going to teach you some core responsibilities.
Okay. Key
things about business and professionalism that's going to carry you the rest of your life. And when I tell you to today, I still have influences of her. I don't know if she's ever going to hear this. I've emailed her and sent her messages to say thank you because she poured into me. She didn't give me any more money, but baby, she poured into me. Yeah, she did.
She gave you the skills needed and necessary. Because here's the thing, 15 years old, if she would have given you more money, at that point, did you have the capacity to value the experience more? Absolutely not.
I was a knucklehead little high school student who thought I knew everything. A whole lot of mouth and a lot of big ego, and I didn't know anything. But when she taught me about responsibilities, she gave me a whole lot more responsibility in the office, managing schedules, managing her schedule. I was her assistant, elbow to elbow, being on top of goals, her schedule, my goals. It carried me right on into my career. How to carry myself in a room of professionals and leaders. Yeah, she taught me that.
She taught you that.
Yeah.
Her name again?
Ori Pinnick.
And she's still alive?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
Miss Ori Pinnick, if you out there, anybody that's in the Chicagoland area, anybody at Buffalo, wherever you are listening, Miss Ori Pinnick, we salute you in Women's Month on today. 15. Let's fast forward 5 years to where you are now?
Uh,
Because you're not a day over 25.
That's right.
21.
No, I wouldn't go back that far. Man, give me 35.
Listen,
I wouldn't want to be in my 20s.
teenage Ori in your 20s, who was the influencer?
Oh, I
Or
had
the
so
several.
many
Well,
small. There were several.
Okay.
Shirley Chisholm.
Okay. Political figures now.
Yes,
We're moving up.
Yeah, I'm growing.
From not, or Miss Ori was personal.
Yeah.
Now you were to move to the political platform.
Yeah, politics. Marian Anderson.
Okay.
She's a Black opera singer.
Okay.
I was fascinated by the fact that she was a Black opera singer. And
I'm fascinated by the fact.
During the time when you didn't see Black opera singers, right? And to be the first in something. Carol Mosley Braun.
Okay.
I was out of college and probably working at this time. And in 1992, she ran for office, and she was the first African American elected to the U.S. Senate. Okay?
In your district?
In the U.S. Senate, yes.
All together?
Yes.
I didn't know that. What's her name?
Carol Mosley Braun.
Okay.
And what fascinated me about her, and this is a topic in itself about Black women and their hair, okay, that we can't, in certain areas, we can only wear it straight. It has to look a certain way to be respected.
Eurocentric.
Yes.
Can we use that term?
I guess we can use that term.
Eurocentric. Very Eurocentric.
And I saw her on the news, and she had plaits in her head.
Not Eurocentric.
No, she had some French braids in her head. And it was just during a time when you just didn't see that. When my bosses were saying, Stacy, you changed the hair color of your hair way too much. It's neat, but stop changing the color. Okay. And I saw this woman and I said, oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. And people also forget. I remember her very clearly having those plaits in her head, and I appreciated it.
So the plaits were empowering. Oh,
yes. During a time still in 1992 where, and I'm not sure the year that she did that, but it could have been 95 or whatever the case may be. It's still during a time when, okay, no, you're supposed to look a certain way to move up in your career path.
Yeah. Look like the establishment.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. And she looked like me, and she had braids in her hair.
And I had
never worn braids in my hair.
Never?
Never.
Okay.
To work. I daringly wore a wrap to an interview, a head wrap. And I love those. Maybe about 7 years ago, I didn't get the job. Okay. But I didn't expect to get the job.
What is that?
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to figure out what noise is this coming from your machine. It's not coming from your machine.
No.
I don't know. Bitch, what's that? What's that? Oh, we good. That's why you got everything above my pay grade. Somebody came in here and fixed it. Yeah. Love it. So you got to know what you cannot do. Mm-hmm. So that others can do what they can do. Mm-hmm. So let's segue into that as a leader. Mm-hmm. Knowing what you cannot do, but knowing what others can do. The tension in that. What is that about?
Oh, it shouldn't be tension.
Okay, no tension. What do we call it?
No. It shouldn't be tension, because if you're a good and effective leader, you're going to surround yourself with people that are better than you.
All right. Better, brighter.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Because you should know, as a leader, you're looking for, you should not be the smartest person in the room. You are there to give and navigate direction.
As a leader,
you want to see the bigger picture of things. So that way you can direct people where they need to go. But it's okay to hire people that have different skills, that are more equipped than you. Mm-hmm. But when you feel like, oh, I'm the boss, I'm the leader, you have to do what I say, that's when things get muddy, because now you become a dictator. Yeah.
Dictatorial.
Mm-hmm. You want to be a dictator. You don't want to be that.
That's a form of leadership, though.
It is. It's not healthy.
It's not healthy.
Yes.
But we have seen on the landscape of human history, we've known some. I've known, not known any personally, but in history books, you know, the Mussolinis, the Hitlers, the Joseph Stalins, 45.
Okay, so here we're in 2024. We're not gonna go back there, but we're gonna move forward as with 2024.
In 2024, we understand leadership. The whole framework around leadership is changing.
Yes, it has changed.
Yeah, is and is evolving.
Yes,
it's more servant driven than do as I say and say as I do.
Don't ask no questions.
No, but even in our homes, we were raised that way.
Absolutely.
So we took that to the workplace, any professional setting we were in, and to our chagrin now, we have hit some roadblocks.
Yeah. Except for me, I was hard-headed, so I always had a lot of questions.
Did you?
Oh yes, I always had a lot of questions.
Talk to me about some of the questions you had and have.
Because I was a curious child.
So you were curious, not hard-headed.
Well, potato. My mother would ask my mom. He asked my mother that, but I had a whole lot of mouth. So I had a lot of questions as to why things had to be a certain way, which would look and feel like probably back then hard-headed and fast-tail and all the other names that they came with it, that came along with asking questions. But I had questions, and those things gave me the courage to walk into Ori's office to say, hey, I've been doing all this work over here. You don't have a secretary. I want some more money. That gave me the confidence. Now, it didn't always work, but that gave me the confidence. And thank goodness I was surrounded by people that encouraged those questions. Even when I was told to shut up, I still had questions.
So what questions are you raising today? Or what questions are you hearing?
What questions am I hearing?
Yeah,
today?
What are you hearing? And Bishop, if you want to throw one in, go ahead. What are you hearing? Like, what are you? And that's something I need to go into my next meeting and say, questions. What questions are you asking? Because here's the thing. The question is from the seed of thinking. You can comment without thinking, but a question comes from the seed of thought. And they're in thought leading and thought provoking. And maybe I'm not asking enough questions. And even Jesus teaches me to ask questions. Who do men say that I am? So as I guess I need a bucket of questions to pull from in my leadership to make sure that my leadership is on track.
I love that. I love that. But I would always, a leader should always be in a place of curiosity. And being in a place of curiosity allows you to ask the right questions at the right time. So your conversation with whomever you're talking to should evoke the next question. So yes, you should have a list of questions based on the context of whatever said meeting. However, it has to be specific to that meeting. And so your questions could change based on that conversation.
And they should change.
And they should
contextually.
Evolve. Exactly. Because if you get so rigid in saying, I have this list of questions, you're just going to be asking the questions and not focused on listening intently to the person that's giving you the response.
You said my magic word right. Listening.
Yes.
And there are 5 levels. Yeah. And you said attentively, which is the 4th level out of the 5th.
So tell me all the 5 levels.
The first is ignoring. That's the first level of listening. To ignore. The second is pretending. The third is being selective. The 4th is being active. And the 5th is being empathetic. And I had to demonstrate that and then teach it in a situation that had arisen here recently.
Yeah.
You're not actively listening. So we're not even going to move to the empathetic part.
Yeah.
And you're in leadership. You ignored everything that was previously stated and zeroed in on what you knew was going to be said.
Mm-hmm.
And you responded to what was being said
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to what had everything that been stated.
Yeah. That's because the person was listening to respond.
Correct.
They weren't seeking to understand.
No.
So you said something a little bit earlier. You mentioned, hey, people can respond without thinking. And that's a bad habit. I want you to slow down. I remember I was reading above grade level, and my mother had this book in her library called Black Power.
Okay.
And I had her torn up copy, and I was reading when I wasn't supposed to, but it was good because it was not derogatory or anything. It's not our people, right? And in that book, it said, when you, as a Black person,
Mm-hmm.
it is very important when we show up in rooms that we speak in a way, and as a light complexion Black, this was important, that we speak in a way that people listen. So I would encourage people to be quiet, listen to seek to understand, and respond accordingly. Because what is the point of wasting my time and your time if you're not listening to understand me?
I'm listening.
You're listening. I saw you.
No, I'm listening. I'm glad you brought that out, that you saw me listening.
I did.
You said you saw. You see listening in me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good, I'm glad you have the awareness to see listening. A lot of people in leadership don't have the awareness to see listening.
Yeah.
We want action and we want activity. We want movement. But are you seeing listening?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I need to look at that this rest of this year. I need to see if you're not seeing it. There's a presence and an aura that comes with listening that should be seen. Then I can tell you, a Black Panther book, light skinned, you mentioned that. You shouldn't have been reading. That book you was reading, you shouldn't have been reading when you was reading it. I need to unpack that on another show. Just your curiosity brought you to a place of enlightenment.
Mm-hmm. Very early.
Very early.
Yeah.
And you listen. Oh, man. It goes by so fast, Bishop. We only got 3 more minutes left. It goes by so fast. Let me share this with you, Bishop. And you need to get to. Have you visited this church?
I haven't.
This show is brought to you by the Mount Calvary Madison Missionary Baptist Church with the Bishop Sandy McLean. Bishop McLean, who was once the acclaimed basketball player back in his day. But I think this March Madness, he gonna stay on the bench. How about that? He gonna be smart. But you need to share your business with him. So go ahead, pitch it to him real fast. Alchemy, go ahead.
Okay, so what Alchemy Business Consulting is, we are a boutique consulting firm where we focus in on talent optimization, leadership, and employee benefits. We help small businesses identify their gaps and weaknesses and help them improve so that way they can scale over time.
See, bitch, she said all that in tongue, did you? You heard he's coming on your honey. That's what you heard, didn't you?
Did you see me listening?
I saw you listening, and I saw you start to take action.
See? So, and see, as shepherds, and he and I'm closing it because Ron, I know you're ready. As shepherds, you're talking about optimization.
Yes.
And scaling.
Yeah.
Jesus always had a candid way of making sure things were optimized and things were scaled. We preach it as miracles, but everything he did optimized and he scaled it. 2 fish, 5 loaves, optimized. When his leaders said, send them away, she said, no, I come to optimize and scale.
I like that.
I saw you listen.
No, you saw me listen.
So we need to know, because we're dealing with a generation of people who are not churched like he and I were, and have 3 generations of a mother and a deacon and an usher and an auntie who ran the fish fry. So I have to learn I have to learn that system and teach it and make sure that I paint the portrait of success that's successful and we can honor the success, but also how to scale to the next generation. Well, y'all, I wish I had more time, Bishop. I wish I had more time, but we don't have any more time. Thank you for tuning in to the Yak, the Yolanda, and Cornelius show. Lady Stacy, tell them where they can reach you again.
You can call me at 615-809-1615.
That's 615-809-1615.